What's up, everybody? It's DC and Lake here for episode 10 of No Huddle Hoops. And today we're going to discuss the World Series Game 2 and how long that lasted. Brian Kelly getting fired as LSU's head coach. I know a lot of LSU fans are happy about that. And the Jets have finally won a game. They are now 1-7. They beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Alabama barely got by South Carolina. We're going to talk about some big college football games this week, as well as some woes by Lake's New Orleans Pelicans. But first off, let's talk about the Dodgers versus Blue Jays. Game 2 of the World Series, best of 7. It went to 18 innings, and honestly, I stayed up for every second of it. It took Freddie Freeman to hit he hit a 406 feet walk-off home run to end the game in the 18th. The game took 6 hours and 39 minutes to complete. Shohei Ohtani reached base about 9 times, I believe. He is a monster, and he's worth every $700 million the Dodgers gave him. So that was good for the Dodgers to pick up the win at home. Chavez Ravine, been there, love it. And now tonight they will go on and face the Blue Jays again at home to try to out even the series so they can get to game 6. But we're going to talk about Brian Kelly getting fired as LSU's head coach. Now, this is a move
of the biggest news in college football this week. I know our host Devin is a massive LSU Tigers fan. Even as an Alabama fan myself, I was at this game, Texas A&M versus LSU. I was in Death Valley for this game. I was in the season ticket holder spots. We had been given the tickets, so we went to the game, and I saw by the end of the second quarter, the fans went crazy, but by the midway through the third, they were leaving. It was like half the stadium had emptied out. I was with those people, and LSU did not score another touchdown until garbage time at the end of the fourth quarter, while Marcel Reed had his way with the LSU defense, which is always going to happen when your defense is out there for more than half the game and your offense just can't get anything rolling. I mean, especially when you guys have that blocked punt that turned into a safety. They were lit. I thought LSU might have came out with the win. It just didn't happen, and that's why Brian Kelly sort of had to go. He's been doing stuff like this all season, and in his tenure at LSU, another 3 losses so far, and it's not even November.
Well, yeah, I predicted this in an earlier video that LSU would lose 3 games. I mean, this is what you're going to get in the Brian Kelly experience. In year 1, he took LSU to the SEC championship game, and that's kind of been the peak of where he's been able to go. 2023, you had that historic offense with Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr., as well as some great players on the offensive side of the ball. But the defense was god-awful. Everybody knows Jaden Daniels wins the Heisman. But this was a move that needed to be made. I was more vocal about Joe Sloan, the LSU offensive coordinator, getting fired. He was the day after, but there were discussions with Kelly and the DA and the AD that they had, and if Kelly wasn't going to get rid of the OC, he was gone also. So the buyout for LSU is $54 million. So Ryan Kelly will walk away with over $50 million that he had left on his contract, a historic buyout, one of the biggest of all time. And you just got to wonder, what is LSU going to do from here? Are they going to hire within? Are they going to hire another coach from another team? But honestly, I think the best choice, and don't get me wrong, in LSU, they need to try their best to get this guy. LSU needs to go after Lane Kiffin. He fits Louisiana. He fits the culture. I think he'd be great. He brings the swagger. He's a great recruiter, and I think he would win LSU some games. So that's what I would like to see. But honestly, anyone but Brian Kelly that's proven that they can win at a high level, I'll be happy with. But this was a move that needed to be made. But LSU is currently on a bye this week as they will take on the Alabama Crimson Tide in Bryant-Denny Stadium next weekend. So that should be a good one. Hopefully it is. But it was a move that needed to be made. So I'm proud of the LSU for doing that.
I disagree with Devin on the Lane Kiffin take. I think Lane Kiffin, over his tenure at Ole Miss, has done exactly what Brian Kelly has done. Although he is a better coach, his record with Ole Miss is sort of similar to Brian Kelly's record with LSU, and that really is saying something about how bad Brian Kelly was, because we both know the LSU talent overtakes and overwhelms Ole Miss's talent completely. So although I do think Lane Kiffin is a much better coach than Brian Kelly, I think LSU needs to go after Joe Brady, the Bills' offensive coordinator. Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady was part of the historic 2019 LSU team, so he knows the system in and out. He knows Baton Rouge in and out. He's been here before. I think he can win again. He's proven he can run a very good offense with the Bills. So I feel like if the LSU Tigers needed anyone to target with their offensive woes, it would be Joe Brady of the Buffalo Bills coming back for his second time in Baton Rouge for the LSU Tigers.
Well, obviously I would like that. And I like Joe Brady. I think he's doing great stuff with the Buffalo Bills. But my thing with Joe Brady is he interested in coming back? Like, how do you think he would be interested in coming back? Because we would love to give him the job. Like, I would definitely give him the call. Like, I would definitely give him the call. But is he interested in doing the job of LSU? Because he went off to the NFL fairly quickly the year after they won the national championship. So that kind of concerns me a little bit. But I would love to have Joe Brady, obviously. He's probably my second or third choice, but I'm going to go ahead and just stay with Lane Kiffin.
I do think Joe Brady would be interested in coming back to the Tigers if and only if the Bills fail to win the championship this year. We both know the Bills are in some serious win-now mode. If the Bills can't pull it off this year, I think Joe Brady would definitely be interested in coming back to be the head coach of the LSU Tigers because he won the head coach when they won the championship. But I feel like if he wants to come back and be head coach of the LSU Tigers, he get paid more than he is with the Bills currently. And I feel like he could do a much better job with recruiting players since he's been there before. Yeah, I do think Joe Brady would be interested in coming back to LSU if the Bills still can't win.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good analogy, but we're going to talk about the New York Jets getting their first win of the season against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, we said in the preseason that the Bengals were going to have the worst defense. I think I said it. We're going to have the worst defense in the NFL. And the fact that they let this 0-7 team, beat them is beyond me. They scored 15 points in the fourth quarter to come up there and upset the Cincinnati Bengals at home with Joe Flacco, who played pretty well. He ended up getting injured in that game. Don't know how he's going to be available for this Sunday, but take me through what you feel like.
What do I feel like? I feel cheated because I honestly thought the Jets were going to go 0-17. Thought we were going to see our very first 0-17 team. Justin Fields, man, this would have been the day to pick him up in fantasy. The Jets have taken out the Bengals, and they get their first dub of the season. Big highs over in New York. I'm sure the Jets are going to celebrate that one moving into next week. Well, they'll probably lose out the rest of the season. The Jets still aren't good. They still have a lot of holes to fill in their roster. And honestly, this is a horrible win for New York because they dropped from their spot at the number one pick, and they give it up to the New Orleans Saints, your squad over there. So, honestly, if there was a game to drop, it'd be all of them for the Jets. The Jets have a glaring issue with their quarterback, especially pairing Justin Fields with Breece Hall. It just made no sense whatsoever. You're not going to be able to pair a guy like Justin Fields and Breece Hall together. So you just have to stick to the old game plan. I like the old game plan the Jets showed a whole lot better than what they're doing now. It's time for everybody to go. The Jets need to fix something.
Well, the Jets are cursed, man. I don't know what it is, but the Jets have been cursed. I don't know what black magic happened after Mark Sanchez lost in the AFC Championship. I believe it was the Pittsburgh Steelers like 14 or 15 years ago. But they haven't been the same. I think that's the last time they actually made the playoffs. But as for the Bengals, I think this is just disappointing. Like, if you want to win this division, because this division is not good this season.
No, not at all.
It's bad. And the AFC North is usually pretty good. And you can't drop games like this. And this defense is horrible. And I think, honestly, after this, you have to fire Zach Taylor. I mean, it all goes down on him as the head coach. You have to find talent. And they have not found talent. And as you as the head coach, you're accountable for it. And for that reason, I think he needs to go. Because I feel like it was Joe Burrow who was more so the contributor of why the Bengals made the Super Bowl. But their defense was also pretty good when they went to the Super Bowl. So, just a disappointing loss for the Cincinnati Bengals. Defense continues to struggle. They fall to, I believe, 3-5 on the year. Next up, let's talk about Alabama beating the South Carolina Gamecocks. A game I thought South Carolina had in the bag, but South Kakalaki's going to South Kakalaki. They blew the game, and Alabama was able to score a touchdown on the last drive of the game. So take me through it.
This was embarrassing as an Alabama fan. They're an unranked team. This game should have been won 35-0. Kalen DeBoer still proves that he is having trouble against these unranked teams. I would love to know what they do in practice all week to prepare to play these bad teams. And I understand some defenses play better against some offenses. But look, they're unranked for a reason. They should have won that game 42-0. Okay, South Carolina struggled against LSU's defense.
We struggled against South Carolina too.
I know, but it was a much more convincing win for LSU. They led the entire game. We had to come back in the final 3 minutes and get lucky with a fumble and get lucky another time when Jeremy Bernard had a 25-yard unguarded touchdown run. So just another lucky win. You have to do better. Kalen DeBoer needs to do better with, again, playing these unranked teams, especially when in 2 weeks we have to play LSU, who has a mystery offense, who has a mystery interim head coach.
Yeah, because y'all have no tape. You have no tape on.
We have no tape, and we don't know what y'all are going to do. And even if we are at home, if Kalen DeBoer can't prepare for, 3-4 South Carolina, how are we ever?
It worried me because I had Ty Simpson as my Heisman favorite, and it kind of worried me because he looked a little rattled. They weren't really sure what they were doing. You know, it concerned me. Alabama concerned me a little bit. I feel like South Carolina, they're not a horrible team, but they don't have all the pieces there. And I feel like they were overranked in the preseason poll, like Florida, like Penn State, like Texas, teams that just have struggled this year on offense. This South Carolina, should have won this game, but, Alabama gets lucky in the end. So I'm sure Lake is happy about the win, but obviously it was very, very ugly. So they have a bye this week also, play LSU in 2 weeks. But we're going to get into our Thursday night football prediction. Now, this is a horrible game.
It's awful.
This is a horrible game. We got the Dolphins versus the Ravens.
This is either going to be a tight matchup or the Ravens blowout. It's going to be a Ravens win either way. But, look, the Ravens had a very bad start to the season with losing Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry looking pretty washed.
Honestly, I think they get back to 500 because Lamar's coming back tomorrow. And they're playing the Dolphins. And I'm not worried about the Dolphins.
Definitely not. I mean, even though the Falcons lost to him, but that's the work of Kirk Cousins and Zach Robinson there.
My God.
Look, this is going to be a free Ravens win. Don't count on the Dolphins doing anything crazy whatsoever. Give me the Ravens in a 35-7 win.
Ravens, and it's not even going to be close. So yeah, that's our prediction for Thursday night football. We have some decently big games this week. We got Georgia versus Florida. Always a good rivalry game. Florida kept it close last year. I don't know if they do it this year. And then Georgia, they somehow find a way to win every week this season. They beat Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. I'm going to take Georgia, but I feel like it's going to be kind of close. What are you thinking?
Georgia versus Florida? Give me Georgia. And it's not going to be close. Florida, DJ Lagway still fails to impress me.
I mean, this is the same guy.
They got a new head coach out there.
I mean, this is the same guy who threw 5 picks against us.
5 picks.
And
so, yeah, even though it was pretty close last year, this Georgia team may not be fully locked in this year, but I'm still taking them in a 2-touchdown win.
I can see it. Honestly, I can see that, but Georgia ain't got any defense. They really don't have any defense.
They really don't. Now moving on to Texas, Vandy. Give me Texas. I like Texas in this matchup. I like Texas.
This is a toss-up. I don't know why. This is a toss-up. I like Vandy. They beat us. I don't know. It's a toss-up for me. I feel like, man, I don't know.
It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game, but I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this one.
I got Texas by a field goal.
Give me Vandy by a touchdown. Hopefully they win this because they're a pretty convincing playoff team. They're 7-1. They're top 10.
Projected to be in the first round of the playoffs so far in the bracketology. So, hey, everybody wants to see a feel-good story. Vanderbilt is our feel-good story. Just a team you can't really root against, although I think Texas is still going to snag this win.
Texas barely beat Mississippi State. But we got a lot of bad, historically bad teams that are pretty good this year. We got Vanderbilt. We got Georgia Tech is undefeated.
Yeah.
We got Louisville. They're doing pretty decent. But they had the Lamar Jackson years. But, yeah. And then we have Oklahoma versus Tennessee being the late game.
Now, me and Devin were talking about this matchup before the show started. We both looked at the record for Oklahoma and Tennessee. Oklahoma's wins have not been convincing aside from the one at Michigan. And give me Tennessee. Oklahoma's going to drop yet another SEC game. Sorry to all the Sooner fans, but I actually feel no sympathy for kicking Alabama out of the playoff last year. So give me Tennessee in a close one because Oklahoma keeps it close.
Yeah.
By a touchdown. Tennessee by a touchdown.
Have we seen Mateer play elite like he has against these like cupcake schools? I haven't. I think he's a decent quarterback, but have we seen him play at the level he was playing when he was playing like I don't know, Tulsa or something? No, we haven't. I thought he played pretty decent against who they played, Ole Miss. I thought he played decent. Give me Tennessee by a touchdown. I feel like it's going to be a good game. It's an SEC game, so it should be very good. Oklahoma just hasn't beat anybody good. So give me Tennessee. But finally, this is the final topic we have come up with today. We're going to talk about some of the Pelicans' woes. Now, the Pelicans have not won a game this season. They're 0-3, so not a great start. And Zion Williamson's dealing with an injury. So give me your take on that, Lake. How are you feeling?
Fire Willie Green. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. He has been a coach for 5 seasons now. He's been a coach for 5 seasons. And all he's brought is 2 play-in tournament wins and 2 playoff wins. Not series wins, 2 playoff wins. We got swept against the Thunder in the 2023 playoff race. We got 6. We got swept. We lost in 6 to the Suns in 2022. Okay, and that's all Willie Green has to show, and his lineups are awful. Every single time, he just sits there, hands in his pockets,
He's pulling the Darvin Ham,
watching us let up these 12-0, 20-0, 30-0 runs. We got outscored by the Celtics in the fourth quarter, 31-4, 31-4 in the last 8 minutes of the game, and he sat and watched that happen and didn't call a timeout. When going into the fourth quarter, we were only down by 6 and at home. I'm tired of Willie Green. I get he's a player's coach. I get he used to play for the Pelicans. But at a certain point, it doesn't matter anymore. Willie Green has got to go. He is the worst head coach in the NBA, and I don't think it's reasonably close to put him with any other coach. He is by far 30th in league. The Pelicans are second to last, to third to last, to bottom 5 in every single statistical category except for steals and 3-point defense. That's all they've got so far. Zion. And I'm saying this with as much love as possible for him. Thank you for revitalizing New Orleans basketball. Leave the team. Leave the team. I'm tired of you. Ooh. Every single season with this load management and the injuries. Play the game. I understand you're injury prone. Why did you sit out against a Boston team coming off a back-to-back? You are sitting out against the Nuggets. I know you don't have an injury. Willie knows you don't have an injury. The whole team knows you don't have a foot injury. I read the article. You said it was a spur-of-the-moment thing that you caught in the morning. No, that's not what happened. Zion, I'm tired of you ruining Pelicans basketball because you don't want to play the games. You came back in the best shape of your life because it's a contract year for you. It's a contract year for you, so play the games, and maybe we'll offer you an extension. But as I see it right now, I am tired of Willie Green. I am tired of Zion Williamson. I just want our younger guys to grow. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. I don't think we should have given up a first-round pick for Derek Queen if we're going to drop games every single game. We genuinely have a shot at starting out the season 0-6 as we take on the Nuggets tonight. We take on the Clippers next, who we historically are very good against the Clippers. I believe we're 13-2 against the Clippers in our last 15 games. So I do think we can pick up a win there. But then we have to play the defending champion, Oklahoma City Thunder.
I ain't winning
Willie
that.
Green's lineups and his adjustments and how we leave Zion on defensive islands. Zion is 6'6", 230, but he can't play any defense. All he is a highlight machine who can drop 27, 10, and 5 a night, who's a very excellent on the ball with steals, but it doesn't matter if you're not going to play for us, and all we have to do is load manage you. To be honest, it's getting into a situation just like Embiid with the 76ers. It's getting into that here, and I feel like it's been like that for a long time. The Pelicans are 0-3 this season, not because of the talent on the roster, but because how our organization is ran, and I'm tired of it. I want Gail Benson to sell our team, and I understand that she won't do it because she thinks they're going to move the team somewhere else. If that's the case, so be it. I'll cheer for wherever they move the team to. I hope it stays in New Orleans, but I beg Gail Benson to sell our team because she fires general managers like David Griffin for wanting to fire our terrible head coach, and he wanted to go over the luxury tax to help out the team. He did a great job with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Gail Benson won't let him because she wants to dilate all the funds to the garbage New Orleans Saints who haven't won anything since, 2020, the last time they made the playoffs? I mean, it's getting to a point where I'm increasingly mad. I just canceled my subscription to Pelicans Plus. I was really going to pay $115 to watch my team.
Whoa. 115?
115. They wanted me to pay 115.
Oh nah,
to
dog.
watch the Pelicans lose all 82 games this year because they won't fire Willie Green. Willie Green, this is a contract year for him. He's on his last year, I'm pretty sure too. Why is he not out of the building? His key card should not work. He's had 3 games. He's had 5 years. The Pelicans keep switching out the roster. The DeJounte Murray trade was one of the dumbest trades we ever made, trading away Dyson Daniels and our defensive anchor Larry Nance. It's just, we also traded the first-round pick to them. Everyone thought it was a fleece until DeJounte Murray tore his Achilles. Kevon Looney has a knee injury. Our team doctors are terrible. Our head coach is terrible. Our organization is terrible. Zion is terrible. I'm tired of the New Orleans Pelicans being the New Orleans Pelicans. Can we please get under a new front office and help change this organization for the better? Because I'm stuck watching the playoffs from my couch every year cheering for a different team that isn't the Pelicans. That's all I got to say. I digress from there.
The Saints are in absolute purgatory. They're one of the worst organizations in sports since Sean Payton has left the Saints. The Saints still have this identity that if they have some decent pieces on their roster, that they can compete for a playoff spot. No. The Saints have not made the playoffs since 2020, and here's their records by years. 2021, 9-8. 2022, 7-10. 2023, 8-9-8. And then last year, 5-12. This has to do with bad draft picks and just not trading for the right players. This is the worst management in sports because they have not found their franchise quarterback. They made the mistake by giving Derek Carr a 4-year, $150 million deal to be out the league in the next 3 seasons. The Saints have been stuck as just an average team the last few seasons, but this season they're utter garbage. They've been Spencer Rattler in the third quarter against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where rookie Tyler Shuck came in and immediately threw an interception. However, I don't think it's his fault. He was thrown into a game where it was going to be tough for him to compete when you were down. As for Spencer Rattler, I feel like he could be the Saints guy, but the Saints are not going to develop him. They basically gave up on him in the third quarter, and the Saints lost 23-3. This team needs to absolutely blow everything up. Alvin Kamara needs to be traded. DeMario Davis needs to be traded. Cameron Jordan needs to be traded. But Gail Benson, you need to fire Mickey Loomis. It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. 20 years of the same thing. Sean Payton ran the Saints. It wasn't Mickey Loomis. Sean Payton ran the Saints. Mickey Loomis is the only person within the New Orleans Saints organization that knows football. Gail Benson is just there. She's just there. And as Lake said with the Pelicans, she doesn't know how to run the team. She doesn't know how to run the teams. So she's basically banking on the general managers of both organizations to help them out. And Mickey Loomis has been the worst general manager. You could argue Jerry Jones has been worse. I don't think so. When you draft an offensive guard in the first round in the 2020 draft instead of Jordan Love, I have some questions for you. Instead of drafting Patrick Mahomes, a generational talent and a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a 2-time MVP, and you draft Marshawn Lattimore, who is on the Washington Commanders and who stinks. He had a great run with the Saints, but he was nowhere near Patrick Mahomes. You could have had Lamar Jackson in 2018, but instead you get Marcus freaking Davenport. Lamar Jackson is also a 2-time MVP and has been to an AFC Championship appearance once. There's so many opportunities where the Saints could have got their franchise quarterback, but instead they decided to start Jameis Winston. Wasn't a bad idea in 2021 before he tore his ACL, and it was kind of a quarterback carousel that allowed them to go 9-8. This season, Spencer Rattler has not been bad at all. He's been great in certain situations. He only has 1 win. That's the only thing that he's had. He's only had 1 win. Chris Olave is not a number 1 receiver. Rashid Shaheed is not a wide receiver too. Those are guys that are 2s and 3s on every other team. The offensive line stinks. Alvin Kamara is washed. The tight end, Jawan Johnson, he's garbage. Trade him. The Saints just need to accept their losses and move on. I don't know why they haven't, considering they're the worst run organizations in sports. They gave Dennis Allen 3 years to prove himself, who didn't know how to be a head coach and was super hyper passive aggressive and didn't know when to take risks. He should have never gotten a head coaching job in New Orleans, and I'm mad that the Saints even hired him. Instead of getting a Kevin O'Connell, who got Coach of the Year 2 years ago, they got Dennis Allen, who's currently on the Chicago Bears, doing a great job as a defensive coordinator, not a head coach. The Saints hired Kellen Moore in the offseason after he was part of the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl win against the Kansas City Chiefs, where he had one of the best offenses in the league, and Saquon Barkley rushed for 2,000 yards. I have not seen the offensive genius Kellen Moore. Where has that been at? He looks very scared, and he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. So it kind of bothers me. It concerns me a little bit because we have a young coach who doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't seem to know how to use Taysom Hill, who's just came back from an ACL tear. Spencer Rattler is not able to get the ball down the field because his receivers cannot get any kind of separation. It pisses me off. The team I love, the team I've grown up with, the city I love is just utter garbage. Luckily, healthiness has not been the issue this year. You know, most of our players have been healthy, but we just lost our center for the year, who's injury prone. This team just doesn't draft well. They don't sign the people needed, and you got too many yes men in New Orleans. You got too many guys in New Orleans who get lifetime achievement awards because they've stayed with the Saints or they're good guys. I want dogs in New Orleans. I want dogs, not good guys. I want dogs. I rest my case.
Kel Benson, sell our teams. This is our state you mess with when you completely mess up the organization to the Pelicans and the Saints. If you would just sell these teams, the glory can come back to the city of New Orleans. Thank you for watching episode 10 of No
Thank you.
Hoops. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.